Hi.
Welcome to Book Pop.
I'm Molly Fish.
And I'm Jamie Anderson. And this is our Shop Local or Shop Small. What are we calling it? Shop. Right when we thought we had a plan.
Shop Local. I like
Shop
it.
Local.
It's our Shop Local episode.
Well, and also, but I kind of like Shop Small because you can shop small all across, the country.
Well, local is just a state of mind. Wherever you are, there's local.
Like that.
And we are, frankly, always a Shop Local, Shop Small podcast because that's what we talk about. And we're presented by Lake City Books.
The best local shop.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's, you could say either.
Okay. Well, that's what it is.
There are so many other great places in Madison that we want to talk about that we love to shop at. And it's also going to be Small Business Saturday tomorrow. If you're listening to this the day that comes out on Black Friday, we want to help feature other businesses and what they're doing for Small Business Saturday. And yeah, we love small businesses.
We love small businesses. There's also been a lot of book awards given out recently, so we want to talk about those. We have some opinions on them, some we didn't know about, and now we're really excited about.
Yeah.
But first, what are you reading?
I am reading This Will Be Fun by E.B. Asher. And that, I believe, is a pen name for two authors, which is kind of a common thing in the romance world. This is it's a fantasy romance in that it takes place in like a Princess Bride style, like mythical realm. But it's really just a romance where like basically these four heroes saved the realm when they were like in their early 20s. One of them died. And then and you don't really know what happens at the beginning. They saved the realm and you don't really know how. You know that one of them died doing it. And then they all like split up and went to mourn and like be famous heroes in different corners of the realm. And now it's 10 years later and they are getting back together because they presumably have to save the realm again. But they also have all these like love triangle and unresolved business with each other. So it's mostly about that.
Okay.
And it's like, it's not serious fantasy, I guess I should say. It is close to almost Legends and Lattes level of like cozy world building where like there's a chain of brew houses, quote unquote brew houses. That's like a fake Starbucks that they talk about that's in this realm, right?
Okay.
Where like you can get the same drink no matter what village you're in. Or there's like a Uber where it's like wagons for you but it's like horse and carriage Uber where you like get it. So you know what I mean? Like
if only there was that like in real life. Can I Uber a horse and carriage?
Horse and carriage, right?
Oh, that's so magical.
So it's very like, it's like not taking itself very seriously is what I mean. It's not serious fantasy in that way. It still, has world building and is cute, but it's mostly about the romance and the characters.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really fun and light and exactly what I needed and wanted. And at first, because I do read a lot of serious fantasy, I kind of like roll my eyes at some of the like the wagons for you thing or the, I just go like, okay. Or they like make little sarcastic one-liner jokes about fairies or dragons or whatever, because they're real in their world and everyone, it's just like, yeah, it's goofy. So I at first kind of start rolling my eyes, but then once you let go and you're just like into it and then you're into the romance and the characters are all like dreamboat heroes and princesses and there's queer romance also, so it's like representative, but everyone is beautiful, and it's it's just fun. So it's light, it's easy, it reads really fast. It's from it rotates perspectives between those three heroes that all survived, and they're mostly just talking about, it's revealing what happened back then slowly. Okay. It's like what happened and why do they have to save the realm again, and what happened to the guy who died. But more, it's just about them and all their sexual tension. So
okay,
yeah, it's fun.
I like how when a book starts out and kind of keeps the reader in the dark for a little while, and then
I agree.
Then you get like a little epiphany throughout the book, and you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense, and oh, now all that makes sense, and
exactly. Yeah. It helps build the tension in a very like, since it's so light in general, you need some kind of tension to build with the sexual tension, I feel like. Yeah. So just knowing like, oh, something happened and they're all on their way to the capital city. So that's going to be like a big meetup. I'm like halfway through the book.
Okay.
So, there's going to be conflict and it's great.
Fun.
It's not for everyone if you really liked serious stuff, but if you liked Legends and Lattes, you would like this. If you like The Princess Bride, I feel like it's very much that, where it's like lighthearted fantasy with a lot of romance and funness.
Yes.
That's kind of the vibe that it is.
I love The Princess Bride.
Same.
I've called dibs on that when you are done.
Okay, you got it.
Okay.
Jesse is also reading it, one of our other part-time staff, so we could book club it.
Yes. Ooh, we should do that.
Staff book club.
Staff book club. Cute.
Should we do that? Did we just come up with that?
I like it. Well, I mean, we kind of do that every day.
We do it anyway.
When we're just talking about what we're reading. And
also, I've forced everyone to read Fourth Wing who works here.
Yes.
Even past employees, I forced them. Who have since left.
Slave driver.
I know. It's really terrible. What are you reading, Jamie?
Mine's a little bit more serious. So I am in the middle. Well, actually, I'm almost finished. I planned to finish it yesterday, but the store was just too busy and I was exhausted when I got home that I was like, I just need to chill out.
Yeah. Gilmore Girls time.
Gilmore. Exactly. I'm not even kidding. I'm still watching Gilmore Girls. That's all I've watched.
Yeah. That's what you need sometimes.
Stuart is even into it now. He just he's the one who turned it on
a good
yesterday
sign.
because we're just like, that's how we're vibing.
Stop it. So cute. The dream.
So I'm reading Snowbirds by Christy Clancy in preparation for our big event where she will be our special guest.
Yes.
In our live finale show on December 8th. If you haven't gotten your ticket yet, get your ticket.
Great plug right in the middle of
right. Space is limited. It's a small bookstore. But I'm I don't know, 250 pages in and I have
it's tense towards that.
Yeah, it really is.
I know.
And so a little bit of a synopsis is it is about Kim, who is a 50-ish-year-old woman in Madison, and she moved to Madison when she got pregnant for her partner, Grant, a job that he was taking at the university. And then they had twins, and life goes on, and he gets another job an hour away, and they have kind of a situation worked out where he's gone all week and comes home on the weekends, and they live their life and their kids grow up, and now she's finding herself with some time off, and she's given an opportunity to go down to Palm Springs and stay at this rental place for a few months and get away. And Grant just got fired from his job and he's kind of feeling down on himself and he's not really happy about the situation. So he's like, do you really want to do this? And like, this is Madison in the fall is such a beautiful time. Why are we leaving for Palm Springs now? And she convinces him to go, and he starts to look for something that he gets joy out of in Palm Springs, and he ends up taking up hiking. And during one of his hikes, he goes missing. And there kind of are like flashbacks in the book where you start to question, like, is he really missing or did he just take off? And it's like a complex relationship. And we talk a lot about likable characters, and I'm not sure that these are exactly likable characters, but that doesn't bother me at all. Mm-hmm. I like that it makes me think about relationships and like how people work together and how people communicate. And I think I get a lot out of that kind of writing. I don't want to say too much about it because we're going to get into it with Christy, but it is very suspenseful right now. They're starting to find clues and,
And it jumps back and forth between her in present day Palm Springs where he's missing, and then them when they first got to Palm Springs when he's not missing yet.
Yes.
And also the past when they're in Madison. Like it kind of jumps between these. So it's unfolding about their relationship and like why maybe he just ran away or maybe,
exactly.
like why she's suspicious of him being missing. So there is a lot of like relationship layers.
Yes.
That I think are really, like you said, even when the characters are like not being super likable, they do feel very real.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
There's a lot of like real life conflict
feels real.
And layers.
And they're also like their kids are just off to college and like their relationship is changing. Like the whole ecosystem of their family has shifted. So they're trying to figure out what their new life is like. And I think like that's something that's really relatable. I mean, I have an 18-year-old son who's like out on his own, and me and Stuart have more time together. And like, it's a very, it's a normal topic. Like
it is.
It's happening.
It's an interesting transition to read about. I do feel like that's not as prevalent as like coming of age stories or
absolutely,
you know, this kind of midlife crisis almost is it's an interesting perspective on that narrative.
Yes. So I'm excited to finish it. I will have it done in a few days, but
exciting.
Yeah. I'm still listening to smut.
Yeah. That's a good dichotomy.
Yeah. So and also Libro FM has a lot of like holiday romance available for ALCs.
I need to go.
So I just like have a list, and I'm, just putting it on.
That's so much
every
fun.
few minutes, like whenever. Yeah. So right now I'm listening to Wreck My Plans by Jillian Meadows. I've listened to it so fast. It's just like I got up at 4 a.m. the other morning, and I was just, I'll put them in and fall asleep. And I didn't fall asleep. I like listened to it for hours before I was like, oh, I should start my day. But it follows Lena, who travels home for Christmas, and it's kind of unplanned for her to go there. And when she gets there, she realizes that her brother's best friend, Gavin, who she hasn't seen in 3 years after some kind of blow up, is also there and going to be staying for their Christmas.
Love a brother's best friend trope. That's a great one.
Yeah. It's great. I mean, like,
cute.
You're on the romance ride. It's Christmas. There's lots of tension. And then they do this thing where it's like, okay, we're stranded in this cabin.
Yep.
And
of course they are.
They can't get back to the house. They're alone. There's one bed and a hot tub.
Oh, yeah.
So then they're like, okay, just one night. And it's not just one night.
Yeah.
It's never just one night.
No.
So then they get back home, and then their family starts to figure out what's happening. And that's where I am right now.
Cute.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Stranded in a cabin, another great trope.
Mm-hmm.
A great twist on the only one bed trope.
I like it. So that's Wreck My Plans by Jillian Meadows. And yeah.
Oh, so fun.
I'm in a good spot with my reading right now.
Yeah. I'm still struggling.
There was weeks where I was like, I couldn't.
This book is helping me speed up a little bit because it's easy and it's going fast. And I'm like, okay, I can jump into it. And then starting Meditations for Mortals, which I did by Oliver Burkeman. And that's our read along. So here's another mid-show plug is we are reading together this season, Meditations for Mortals. And we love this book so much. And I love Oliver Burkeman so much. We are offering free shipping on Meditations for Mortals to anybody listening to this. We will ship you this book for free because we want you to have it. We want everyone to read and have this book. Now through the end of the year, if you use the promo code MORTAL on lakecitybooks.com, you will get free shipping on that book. It's just so important to think about our lives and our time and to meditate on it. It's just like, it's a nice refresher. I genuinely enjoy reading that book then, even when it's challenging, just because like the perspective is so important.
Yes.
And I think everyone should be thinking about that this time of year. The holidays can be tough for people, even when they're great. We should really think about how we're spending our time and who we're spending our time with mindfully. And yeah, read Meditations for Mortals. So I'm going slowly through that on purpose.
Yeah.
And then I'll kind of wrap it up and finish it before we have to podcast about it. But we also are, we want to hear what you think. If you're reading Meditations for Mortals, you can fill out our survey on our website, and we will share the feedback we get from everyone on our winter read-along wrap-up episode, which is coming out right before the finale.
Yeah. I'm really excited to hear about people's answers because I feel like it's a book that you kind of learn a lot about yourself when you're reading.
You do.
And I want to know what everybody learns.
And then by sharing those things, you can, increase your own understanding of it. Or like someone else will say, I learned this about myself, or I'm going to stop doing this. And you go like, oh, what a great takeaway. You can take that as well.
Absolutely.
So you can Shop online to buy Meditations for Mortals or any of the books we talk about at lakecitybooks.com. As everybody listening to this probably already knows, we already talked about all of our Thanksgiving weekend specials that we have. We have a different deal every day. Black Friday, shop, small business Saturday, whatever it's called. Shop business Saturday is what I was going to call it. That's not what it is.
No.
And then Sunday, we have different deals going on, and those are all in our last episodes. So go back and listen or check out our website for those. We won't repeat them. But we do want to talk about some of our other favorite local Madison businesses and the specials that they are doing to highlight that there are many great places to put your money where your mouth is in terms of supporting your community. And during this time of excessive shopping that we are entering, why not help out someone who lives and started a business in Madison and could use your business? I always think of this post that I read when I was first opening the store from another indie bookstore owner who said like a $50 purchase on a slow day just like lit up her whole life. And she realized like she was going to be able to buy groceries tomorrow because of that $50 purchase. Your $50 purchase on Amazon.com is not going to affect anybody's life like that.
Right.
And even if you had to spend a little bit more for that product, you are affecting someone exponentially more by when you shop local.
Yes.
They are going to go spend that at a local grocery store. Their taxes go to your school districts and keeping your roads clean. It's so important to keep money local as much as we can.
Yes.
And I'm not going to be one of those people that say never shop online. I shop online, never shop on Amazon. Sometimes there's things that you're like, this is the only way that I can get this.
Yep.
I get it. I think there are certain goods though, and especially when you're buying Christmas presents that are already excessive or not a part of your daily life. Like you can take a little bit of time to get them early and to be mindful and buy them locally. So let's talk about our favorite local businesses.
Yeah. So when you're down here to check out our deals over the weekend, downtown Madison has a holiday open house, and there's a trolley.
There's a trolley, people, and they're giving away like gift cards on this trolley.
Yeah.
It pays to go on the trolley.
November 29th through December 1st on State Street and around the Capitol Square. There's holiday trolley, gift bags, shopping specials from downtown businesses. And there are so many local businesses on State Street that you can support. And I did this with the kids when they were younger. Like,
really?
The Capitol just looks so pretty. Like all the trees around it are decorated.
Yes.
You're riding a trolley around this beautiful Capitol Square.
And the tree is lit up in the Capitol right now. They just had the tree lighting ceremony, so you can go inside. This is free entertainment, people.
Right.
A gorgeous giant Christmas tree in there. Riding the trolley is free, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm pretty sure it's free.
I was a broke mom.
And
I'm sure it was free.
And then they have gift bags that they're giving out. So like we have discount deals that are in that gift bag. A lot of local stores donated to put things in those gift bags. So there's a lot of fun to be had, even if you're not spending money.
And there's also live music, isn't there?
That's right. Yeah, there's going to be live music outside, I think at the top of State Street by the Capitol. So we're just a block away from that.
Yep.
Over on Hamilton Street. Some of my favorite downtown stores that you could visit when you're coming down to ride the trolley. Little Luxuries is going to have free refreshments while you're shopping. They're also going to have a drawing to win a gift worth $100. And they are working with Reach Dane Giving Tree to you can like grab a wish off of their tree and like buy something to give to someone. And I think that is for families and children who can't afford gifts of their own. So that's a really great program. We love Little Luxuries and Anthology. Great women-owned Madison businesses.
Yep.
The soap opera is another one. Did you see the Instagram post of their beautiful holiday windows?
Yes. Those like package boxes.
Package boxes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I was like, my God.
I was very impressed.
It's so beautiful. Just go check out those windows. But they also have free hot chocolate and tea while you shop this weekend, or at least on Small Business Saturday, and a free lip balm with purchases over $50.
Nice. Right up the road, Madison Modern Market. They are going to have 10% off of purchases $100 or more, and 15% off purchases $200 or more.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar to our free $10 gift card with a purchase of $100 or more. You get an extra money this weekend, people. Extra money.
Yeah, check out all those deals. There's so many of them.
I'll also give Goodman's Jewelers a shout out. If you're looking to make a little bit bigger of a purchase for a holiday gift, they are a great locally owned jewelry store, and they have 10% to 40% off the entire month of December with like rotating items on sale. That this weekend for Small Business Saturday, they have 40% off a lot of their best-selling fashion jewelry and a special gift with purchase. So we always love Goodman's Jewelers. They're also partners with Madison Reading Project on their book drive, and they partner with us on that, and just a beautiful downtown business.
Yeah, there's also a bunch of like craft markets, craft fairs. Garver Feed Mill is hosting a Small Business Saturday holiday craftacular. There'll be 50 local vendors there. It's just like a drop-in craft, small bites, casual situation. That's going to be on November 30th, also starting 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
So much fun.
So much fun. And one of my favorites, this is the one I'm looking forward to, is the Paoli what is it called? Chris Kindle market?
Chris Kindle, Christmas Kindle. Chris Kindle, probably. It's like German.
Yes.
It's a German
Christmas market. I just call it a Christmas market all the time.
Christmas market works.
Yeah, but they have a ton of people, and they have such a beautiful area, and it just feels so like festive.
Is it outside in that area, like where they have live music that I went to?
Yep.
And they had little vendors set up there.
And they also have a bunch of cute shops around that as well. So
that'd be so cute. That's this weekend?
That
Black
is
Friday?
December. It starts December 13th. I believe it's that Friday, Saturday.
Got it. So that's in December.
Yep.
Fun.
Yeah. So shop local all season long, not just on Small Business Saturday.
For sure. One of our other favorite places for getting things for holiday drinking and eating, we always want to shout out Table Wine, owned by Molly Moran over on Atwood Avenue. You're going to need a bottle of wine for your holiday celebrations. Go to Table Wine. They will help you get great recommendations. They have deals going on.
They also have like curated kits. You say you want 5 bottles of wine, and they will give you 5 delicious variety bottles of wine. And I haven't had a bad bottle of wine from Table Wine.
No. And you've had a lot.
I've had a lot.
You've really tried to find the bad one that they have.
I've put in so much effort. It was like my life goal. Turns out
there isn't a bad bottle there.
Nope. I went in there the other day and I bought, I was going to buy 6 bottles of wine. We're having Thanksgiving. We need 6 bottles of wine. I got 7. I was like, okay, that's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But then I got to the counter and there were like this 4-pack mini cans, Manhattans and Cosmos. And I impulse bought these Manhattans, and it is so good.
Yeah.
Like,
I love a canned cocktail.
It was very delicious. You can't go wrong.
You can't.
You can't go wrong.
So much fun. We also, I want to hear about your trip to Coco Va to do some research, quote unquote research.
Yes.
Coco Va, one of Jamie's favorite local places.
I don't need an excuse
to
go
I
to
know,
Coco
I know you don't.
But I'll take it. I went in on a Sunday after work. So it was like, they're usually open Saturdays, Sundays, noon to 6 p.m. And that's it. So I got in pretty late on the weekend, and they were
pretty sold out.
They were sold down. So I got to say my favorite thing in the world when I walked through the door. One of everything, please. And I got one of every truffle that was available, there were like 8 left or something. And we're still eating them at home because we have this ritual with the 4 members of my family where somebody picks one, and then we put it on a plate and we cut it into 4 pieces, and then we each take a piece and we look at each other while we eat it. We're like, that's so good.
That's so cute. You each get to share it.
And we just, So it's like, it's our, it's our thing. Chocolate.
Love it.
One of the ones we had was like a banana Foster's truffle.
Mm.
And it was so good. And there was like this little crunchiness in it. Like there was so much texture and flavor. Cocoa Vase chocolates are just next level.
Mm.
But I do have another equally favorite chocolate company in Madison.
Okay.
The Madison Chocolate Company.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We love them too.
Yes. They have locations on Greenway Boulevard and on Odana Road. And their London Chew, it's like this curry, coconut, caramel, chocolate.
Stop it.
It is unexpectedly the best thing in the world.
My God.
And they are also doing 10% off of everything on Small Business Saturday.
Yay.
Yes. So definitely check them out. I mean,
Another woman-owned business.
Another woman-owned business.
Both of those. And we are so blessed in Madison.
Yes. And Cocoa Va is a Black-owned business, too.
Heck yeah.
So absolutely
Didn't
support
she
them.
just win an award?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we had to go look it up because we wanted to get this right, and she deserves to be shouted out. She is a James Beard semifinalist for Outstanding Pastry Chef or Baker.
Amazing. Well-deserved.
Siovada Adari. I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but Siovada Adari from Cocoa Va is fantastic.
Yes.
And a James Beard nominee and the making the chocolate of our dreams.
Yes. The chocolate I literally dream about. Literally.
Well, speaking of award winning, a lot of the 2024 book awards have been coming out recently. The National Book Award was announced, the Booker Prize, the Nobel Peace Prize for Literature, the Kirkus Prize, Hugo Awards. So we were going to talk about some of our favorites. I think these are really great ways to discover things that maybe you haven't heard of, or to kind of, maybe you've been hearing about a book and then it wins a prize and it kind of pushes you to be like, oh, that's how I use them at least. Obviously, books and literature, it's so subjective. And what you like and what wins awards doesn't mean everything, but it means something. And I think it can show that there's something worth looking into in a book. And that can be also a really great guide for gift giving. If you're like, I have a sci-fi person in my life and I don't read sci-fi and I would love to get them a great sci-fi book, for example, then maybe you're like me and you want to get a copy of Some Desperate Glory by Emily Tesh, which just won the Hugo Award for Best Sci-Fi Fantasy Novel of 2024. And I was like, well, that was not on my radar at all. We do sell it at the store and I've heard of it, but it wasn't on my radar as something I was excited about. And this pushed me to like read the back cover, look into it a little bit more. And I'm like, oh, I would love this book.
Yep.
It looks like it's about a planet Earth has been murdered is how it starts. There is Gaia Station in space that people are living on. And Kier is she has been raised to avenge the murder of planet Earth and is the best warrior of her generation. She's got like a fun cast of characters, like a lonely captive alien who she has befriended in the bowels of Gaia Station. And she is going to avenge planet Earth. And I was like, this sounds fabulous. And I think it is, it's got really great blurbs from authors that I love, like Alex Harrow, Tasman Muir, who wrote Gideon in the Locked Tomb series, Olivia Blake. One of the blurbs is, "This book will hurt you and you will say thank you," by Olivia Blake. And I was like, that's a good blurb.
That's a great blurb. I want to be hurt.
I want to be hurt and say thank you. That sounds good. Anyway, so that was the Hugo Award winner.
The one that I was surprised about was Vegetarian by
Han Kang.
This came out in 2016. This is
Yes.
a fiction novel. She won the Nobel Prize for Literature. She's a South Korean author. And I've had this book since 2016.
And haven't read it.
And I haven't read it. So this is one of those that's going to obviously push
it to the top of your list.
Yep, absolutely.
And she has other great works translated into English that we carry at the store that have been kind of like low key, people talk about them, but I feel like something like this where they win the Nobel
Yeah.
It just like pushes everything to the top of people's attention.
Right.
And it can get really great publicity for
Yeah.
books that have been out for 8 years already.
Well,
So-
it brings like such attention to the name. People are like, the
Yes.
recognition is just going to get, very intense for her. And anything her name's on, they're going to be like, oh, okay, that's going to be on their radar. It's closed. There are people banging on the store door right now. We're closed on Mondays for November, starting in December, which we should mention.
Shout out. We're going to be open on Mondays starting in December. Only for December, I
Only
should say.
for December. You can get your shopping done all week long.
Normally we're closed on Mondays and we record the podcast here, but there's literally a woman pulling on the door saying, let me in right now.
Yeah. They're still
We're
out
sorry.
there. They're still out there.
We're sorry. We have so many open hours that you can come.
Right. And we also got to get this podcast done. I don't know where I left off, but
well, and I also think that she is the first South Korean woman or person of either gender to win the Nobel Prize. And this was like a really big deal that it was a woman, that it was a Korean woman. And there are a lot of different, I feel like this, like the pressure that she feels, there's also like a lot of ecological commentary in this book. I think there's societal commentary on the pressure that women feel and just like the pressure in general to fit in South Korean culture.
Yep. And women in South Korean culture and family life in South Korean culture.
So I think that she is one of these writers that is saying a lot with very little and
it
talking
is a
about
slim book.
Yes.
So I think that's very true.
I'm so excited for her and for this renaissance.
I wanted to ask you, is it normal for a 8-year-old book to win an award?
Well, I think it's the person that wins Nobels.
Okay.
And so like that book didn't win, but it is her most famous and recent book.
Gotcha.
I think that's how it works.
Okay.
So a person wins it, and usually it is based on like multiple pieces of work.
Okay.
I think.
Interesting. We got to talk about James.
James is a literary award darling, as it should be.
Yes.
And I feel like a lot of us would have been very disappointed if it didn't win the National Book Award in the U.S. But don't worry, it did.
It did.
It's won the Best Fiction Prize. It didn't win the Booker Prize, even though it was a finalist.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of shows the very American-centric. I mean, it's such an American story of slavery and race and literary satire and literature. Yeah. And it's very American. And I can see why maybe it's not as impactful to a UK-based award like the Booker Prize, which encompasses all English-speaking words and books translated into English from any language. So it's a little bit broader of a pool that they have over there versus our National Book Award. It's still so good, though. I'm not surprised it was a finalist for the Booker.
Yeah.
But the one that won...
Orbital
by Samantha Harvey.
Yeah. I mean, and I've heard of this one, but it surprised me.
Yeah, it was very much more under the radar. It is a kind of like... It's sci-fi, but it is, I'd say more like vibey sci-fi than like Alien or like Some Desperate Glory where we were talking about, where there's like...
It definitely seems to be more character-driven because there's like an ensemble of characters and you switch your perspective through the characters and it's like they're in space.
It's kind of about the perspective of all these different humans in space looking back at Earth and trying to kind of transcend the boundaries of country.
Yes. Because they're all from different countries
right. And so I think there's like this message of humanity and how we all have really similar perspectives once you go into space and you're orbiting Earth. That's probably one of the major themes. And I'm sure it's well written. I haven't read it myself, although Jamie snagged one of our last copies before it sold out this weekend.
I was very worried it was going to sell out, and I'm glad I grabbed one. Yeah. But don't worry, we'll have more in the store this week.
Hopefully this week they come, because I ordered a bunch more.
Good.
It is flying off the shelves now, and I think that's a really great message for us right now in the world. and in
Absolutely.
this country.
Yeah. I love that was the winner.
I hope it's good. You can report back.
I'll let you know. Other notable winners.
The Booker International Prize, which is specifically for translated literature into English, was Kairos by Jenny Erpenbach.
And that's a German translation. It takes place in the 1980s, and it follows this girl who gets into a relationship with a married man and is having this long-term affair with like somebody who's 30 years older than her. And that's about all I know.
Yeah.
But it's enough for me to be interested.
It sounds like some classic literary fiction, relationship based. Yeah, I'm sure it's great.
Yeah.
I bet a German perspective on that would be
right?
a little bit
in the 80s.
Darker. Exactly.
Yes.
I know. I'm picturing the Berlin Wall. I'm picturing there's like some politics, and I bet it's great.
Yeah.
We should say the nonfiction award for the National Book Award. James won the fiction award. Soldiers and Kings by Jason DeLeon. The subtitle is Survival and Hope in the World of Human Smuggling. This was one that was not really on our radar.
No.
But is something that we have started to carry at the store and are definitely happy to carry and interested to hear more about. I think the nonfiction award for National Book Awards is another great place where there's such a huge wide variety of nonfiction that comes out, of fiction too, but nonfiction, imagine all of the nonfiction genres and topics that you could be writing about. And it's really hard to stay on top of all of them. So that's always a place I look at the end of the year to be like, what did I miss that came out this year that is important and impactful to our society? I feel like this is a great one, a great example of one that I personally missed. And now this has raised awareness of it, and we can carry it at the store now.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to give a shout out to one of my favorite books of last year, which I guess just qualified for the Hugo Award this year, but The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi by Shannon Chakraborty was one of my favorite fantasy books I've read in a long time. Fun, rollicking. I always say it's like a female Muslim Jack Sparrow in a fantasy world. So, like that's the vibes that this character gives. And it's the start of a new trilogy that I couldn't be more excited about. And it was one of the finalists for the 2024 Hugo Awards. So I'm like, big shout out to Amina.
Another finalist that was one of my favorite reads this year was Margot's Got Money Trouble by Rufi Thorpe, which we talked extensively about. But kudos to her.
Yeah,
that's
Rufi.
awesome.
That was a finalist for the National Book Award, right?
Kirkus, right?
Oh, for the Kirkus.
Yep,
okay.
Kirkus.
James also won the Kirkus Prize.
Yes.
In case we did not mention that. The nonfiction prize for the Kirkus Awards went to Challenger, A True Story of Heroism and Disaster on the Edge of Space by Adam Higginbotham. That is a story of the Challenger explosion. And our friend, Dr. Barb Novak, who is a regular customer and a person in the Madison literary scene, I saw her at the Madison Reading Project celebration. That's what she's reading right now.
Okay.
Challenger.
Nice.
And I was like, I've seen that book. We carry that book, and it is thick.
It's a big book.
And I was impressed. I was like, that doesn't surprise me. Barb's
No,
very well read.
Very well read. Yeah.
So she said it's great, though, that it actually is very riveting and told in like a
like a
suspenseful
storytelling,
way, right?
Yeah.
So that if you don't know a lot about the story, or if you were alive when that was such a huge thing in the news, either way, you can really get into the tension building around the explosion.
Yeah, that's
and the
awesome.
lead up to it.
I'm glad to have some more nonfiction on my radar that is, well spoken of, because I, struggle there sometimes.
Yeah, it's great to have good recommendations. It's almost like what these prizes are, is like recommendations from people who have looked into it a lot.
Yeah. So whether or not you're in the Madison area, shop local, check out these businesses, support local this holiday season, and remember to avoid Amazon.
We'll see you at the bookstore.
We'll see you at the bookstore.
See you at the downtown trolley.
I will be on that trolley.
Jamie will literally see you on the trolley.
Bye.
Bye.
Book Pop Podcast is presented by Lake City Books. Produced by Jamie Anderson and Molly Fish. Edited by Jamie Anderson. Music and art by Lovick. Follow us on Instagram at bookpop.podcast. Find out more at our website, bookpoppodcast.com.